Hello friends, in this video I am going to discuss the poem Ode to a Nightingale by John Keats. As I've already discussed his writing style, so you better watch that video to relate with his poems, his style. And I've discussed also John Keats, his theory of negative capability as well, right, which is very important. And his theory negative capability is also used in this Ode to Nightingale and Ode to Grecian Urn as well. So his writing consists of themes of death and immortality, and in this poem especially, if the poet compares human life with the life of Nightingale, and other themes include consciousness and isolation. And another writing style of Keats include escapism as well, right? He just want to escape the world by losing his consciousness through his imagination, right? And we'll discuss in this poem in detail, right? So ode, as I already discussed genres of poetry as well, ode is an address to something. So here it is an address to Nightingale. So we'll begin. Here begins the poem. My heart aches and drowsy numbness pains my sense, as though of hemlock I have drunk, or emptied some dull opiate to the trance. One minute passed and lead words and sung. 'Tis not through envy of thy happy lot. So escapism is there. He want to escape the harsh realities of the world. First he just escape, he want to escape through drugs, right? Through by taking an opiate, right? Opium, a drug, or drinking a hemlock, which is a poison, right? Or just drinking lead, one of the seven rivers of hate, the rivers of forgetfulness according to Greek mythology. He want to try these things to escape the world, right? And enters into the world of immortality, or the world of Nightingale. So he failed to do so through this drugs like thing, but later he just adopt some other method, and that is through his poetic imagination, right? So as I already told you, he talks about mortality of human life and immortality of art, right? The songs of Nightingale, he considers it as immortal, right? We will discuss this as well, so we'll go line by line. But being too happy in thine happiness, that thou light wing tirade of trees, he was just a kind of jealous from the happiness of Nightingale, that Nightingale is very happy singing very melodious songs, and it is us humans, I, Coleridge refers to himself, it is himself, he is unhappy. And the problems, right, problems and reality, harsh problems of life entangled with, right? So but being too happy with thine happiness, and light winged dirate. Dirates are the nymphs of trees, nymphs, the spirits of trees. So he just refers to Nightingale through this verse, light winged dirate, right? And then further he said that in some melodious plot of pigeon green and shadows numberless, singest of summer in full throated ease, means the how the nightingales sing melodious song in the summer, beautiful songs, right? And further he say, oh, for a drought of vintage that had been cold a long age in the deep delve earth, testing a flora and the country green, dance and profile song, sunburnt mirth. Oh, for a beaker full of warm south full of true, the blushful hypocrite with beaded apples winking at the brim, and purple stained mouth, that I might drink and leave the world unseen, and with thee fade away into forest dim. Again, escapism is there, and he want to escape the world through some drugs, and now he's thinking of having a wine, drinking a wine, right? Vintage refers to wine, right, that has been kept for a long time, and old wine. He just want to drink that and escape the earth, right? And then further, he talks about the nightingale, who is just living in the forest, right? Floras, plants, beautiful plants and flowers are there. And then further, use of oxymoron is there, right? Oxymoron, the poetic device through which you use two opposite words together, right? Sunburnt mirth. So something that is mirth is not sunburn. Sunburn is not mirthful, right? Mirth mean happy. So sunburn cannot be happy, right? Something not to be happy of. So use of oxymoron is here. And further he talks about, he just want to escape, means through Hippocrene. Again refer to Greek mythological fountain, which is sacred to muses, right? And that is by drinking that sacred water of that Hippocrene, right? He want to escape through his poetic inspiration, that water that brings poetic inspiration to him, right? And leave the world. Here you can see, leave the world unseen, and with the fade away into forest dim. You want to just become invisible like, and fades away into the forest, into the world of nightingale. And further in these lines he say, fade away, fade far away, dissolve and quite forget what thou among the leaf had never known, the weariness, the fever and the fret, here where men sit and hear each other groan, where palsy shakes a few sad last grey hairs, where youth grows pale and spectra thin and dies, where but to think is to be full of sorrow, and leaden eye despair, where beauty cannot keep her lustrous eye, or new love pine at them beyond tomorrow. He just further explaining that he just want to fly away or leave the world and enter into the world of nightingale, where everything seems to be pleasant, right? And where there is no weariness, no fever and fret, right? And then here refers to this world or the earth that he want to escape. He said that here where men sit and hear each other groan, here each one every one of us men is in problems, right? We hear each other's problems groan, while palsy, a disease, a shaking disease where your hands or other body parts shake, right? It's often takes place in old age, right? People just complaining of this disease problems and things like that. And where youth grows pale means he refers to mortality of human life, that youth grows pale, right, and become old age, thin and dies ultimately. So mortality of human life. And then life we think be full of sorrow, life is full of sorrows and despairs and things like that. And further he say, away, away, for I will fly to thee, not charioted by Bucus and his parts, but on the viewless wings of poesy, through the dull brain perplex and retards, already with thee tender is the night, and happily the queen moon is on her throne, clustered around by all her starry face, and here there is no light, save what from heaven is with breezes blown through wondrous glooms and winding mossy ways. So again, escapism is there, and he just turned to another way of escaping through art, that is through the songs of Nightingale, that is through art, right? The immortality of art. And then here Pucus refers to god of wine, right? And these lines are very important because his theory or the negative capability is used there. Away, away, for I will fly to thee, right? The wingless wings of poesy. Poesy, the old form of poetry, right? The old word for poetry is poesy. So he just want to escape, right? Negative capability is there, although it seems impossible, right? Wings of poesy, but in negative capability you just accept things as they are for art's sake, art for art's sake, for aesthetic objectivity, right? I'll discuss negative capability in detail in that video. And then further he just want to escape through poetry, which is an art which is immortal, right? And then further, other important things here is cluster around by her starry face, means cluster around by the nightingale, right? By her fairies and things like that, supernatural elements he had used, right? And further in these lines he say, I cannot see what flowers are at my feet, nor what soft incense hangs upon the boughs, but in embalmed darkness guess each sweet wherewith this seasonable month endows the grass, the thicket, the fruit tree, wild, white hawthorns, and pastoral eglantine, fast fading violets covered up in leaves, and mid-May eldest child. Again, he just escaped to the world of Nightingale that is full of pleasant things, flowers are there, right? And then but in embed darkness guess is sweet, it just talk embalm means a fragment, and preserve fragment, preserve with body, right? And then he just want to escape uh, and to this world which is full of flowers, seasonable months in dows and grass, the thicket and fruit leaves, fruit trees. Yes, fruit trees are there. And again he refers to different flowers, right? Hawthorn, again it's a flower, and eglantine, that is also a flower, name of flower. So we'll discuss further. Further, he said that the coming musk cross full of dewy wine, the murmurous haunts of flies on summer eves. Right, again refer to roses and flowers as well, which is full of dewy wine, right? And the juice or the nectar of those flowers that he want to sip. Further, he said that darkling, darkling, listen, and for many a time. He said that darkling, I listen, and for many a time I have been half in love with his full death. called him soft names in many amused rhyme, to take into air my quiet breath, now more than ever seem it reach to die, to seize upon the midnight with no pain. While thou art pouring forth thy soul abroad in such an ecstasy, still wouldn't thou song I have ears in vain to thy high requiem become a sword. Again, the mortality of human life, right? He just be in the world of Nightingale, with flowers and all the pleasant things around him, and he want easeful death, right? He do not want to die in this world which is full of problems and sorrows. Rather, he just love to eat, love to die. Sorry, he just love, as he discussed it, I have been half in love with easeful death. Yes, he just love to die in the world of Nightingale, which is full of pleasant things, flowers and all the beautiful things around him, right? So this thing is discussed in these lines. And further he say, thou was not born for that immortal bird, no hungry generations treat thee down. The voice I heard this passing night was heard in ancient days by emperors and clown, perhaps the self same song that found a path through the sad heart of Ruth, when sick for home. She stood in tears amid the alien corn, the same that ofttimes had charm magic casements opening on the foam of perilous seas in fairy lands forlorn. Again, he is talking about immortality of the art of the songs of Nightingale, and in these very lines in the beginning he just addressed to that Nightingale as immortal bird, right? Thou was not born for that immortal bird, right? And the songs of Nightingale, they are immortal and they have been heard um, before generations and after generations of kings and emperors, ancient days, and in contemporary world as well, right? Because they are immortal, the songs of Nightingale. And then he again, allusion is here, biblical allusion, or reference to Ruth, a biblical character who achieved immortality for her deeds and her discernment, right? So again refer to that immortality. And then in the last stanza he say, forlorn, the very word is like a bell to toll me back from thee to my soul self. Adieu, the fancy cannot cheat so well, and she is farm to do, deceiving elf. Adieu, adieu, thy plaintive anthem fades past the near meadows over the still stream, up the hillside, and now 'tis buried deep in the next valley glades. Was it a vision or a waking dream? Fled is that music, do I wake or sleep? Again, he is talking of his mortality, that his time has come to pass away or to die away, right? And he has to return back to his forlorn life. Forlorn, dejection, dejected, sorrowful, right? And told me back from thee means the separating himself from the Nightingale, because he has to go back, because he's a mortal thing and he has to die. Adieu means farewell or goodbye, right? He is saying to that Nightingale, addressing to that, adieu, adieu, because I'm going, I'm dying, right? Thy plaintive. The plaintive means mournful, means plaintive anthems, means songs of praise. They just fade away and then they just vanish and buried deep in the next valley glades. And he's confused, right? Was it a vision or waking dream? He just at the end of the lines he just discusses that it's a reality or it's a dream that I have saw, or I am awake, or am I living or dead, right? Awake means alive and sleep refers to death. That music fades away, and do I wake or sleep? Am I alive or dead? He asks, right? So here the poems end, and in next video we'll discuss Ode to Grecian on. Thank you for watching.